Welcome to Spark Faith with me, Dr. Kris Sargent. This show is about renewed health, rooted in truth, and restored by grace. What does finding health look like for you? Do you have a vision for your future self and a way to get there? I'm Dr. Kris, and after 33 years in functional medicine and a lifelong journey through brain health, weight loss, hormones, mindset, and faith, I know that real transformation doesn't come from willpower or white knuckling your way to wellness. It comes from gratitude, honoring your body as the temple that God created. This show is about body stewardship, not shame. It's about rewiring your mindset, your metabolism, and your spirit to find lasting health without the grind. I'll help you cut through the noise, see opportunities instead of obstacles, and finally live the healthy, purposeful life you were created for. Let's spark faith and transformation together. Spark Faith starts now. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Spark Faith Show. This is a good beginning, right? Welcome back to the Spark Faith Show. I am Dr. Kris Sargent, and clearly I am not at home. I am in Denver. It is a beautiful, beautiful day here in Denver. And I am getting ready to graduate with my MABTS and moving into Master's in Divinity in Pastoral Care and Counseling. And yes, I'm still going to be here for functional medicine. This is just an add-on for me. I love information, and that is what we are going to talk about today. We are going to talk about food as information, right? Your body is not simply reacting to calories. It reacts to some of the things in food. And we're gonna dive deeper into this probably next week or in the health segment, because I think it's important for y'all to understand, like, what about seed oils and what about colorful vegetables and like some of the more detail-y stuff about the information that your body is getting. But today I want to give you a bigger concept, right? That food communicates nutrient availability, food communicates inflammatory potential, metabolic safety. Should we lose weight? Can we lose weight? Are we going to hold on to things because we're afraid of the deprivation coming again? Right? Food communicates your repair capacity and your recovery from workouts or sicknesses, whatever, right? Or injuries. What it will communicate your ability to repair your body. And stress load, right? Food can be stressors. Ultra processed foods are big stressors, big stressors. And your physiology, here's the key here. Your physiology is going to adapt accordingly, right? So what if your metabolism isn't actually malfunctioning? What if it's adapting to the way it was designed, right? That's a different conversation, because I think a lot of us believe that our metabolism is under our control. And it is to some extent, but it depends on what we're putting in and the environment that we create and choose. No shame, no guilt, right? But here's the thing, your body is constantly asking questions. Questions like, are resources available? Right? Is the environment safe? Internal environment, is it safe? Can we repair? Can we produce energy easily and freely? Or do we need to conserve, right? And your physiology is going to answer those questions based on the patterns that it sees on a day in and day out basis. Not promises, right? Not what happens and what we think should happen, but what's actually happening. I know. Which again, like, I have a little mirror standing right here in front of me saying, okay, how are you doing? Right? Because I have to completely check myself just like you do, just like you do. Because food is not just calories. It is fuel, however. And I think that we get really caught up in calories and all the stuff, which is important. And we can talk about that before. And I talked about it before. But I think it's important to understand that food is fuel, but it's also information. You are turning things on and turning things off in your body based on what you're eating. That includes hormone production, immune resilience, inflammatory signals, all those kind of things. So your body is constantly interpreting the chemical signals from food, from stress, from sleep or lack thereof, right? From inflammation, from your blood sugar, from your environment, and then it adapts, right? So today I want to help you understand how your body works, but a little bit differently, right? Because I'm not sure that this adaptation thing is something that gets talked about a lot. Your body isn't broken, it's adapting. And it's adapting to whatever we put into it and whatever choices we make that we have control over. And again, there is no shame and no guilt here, right? Maybe a hard look in the mirror. Sorry. I know none of us like to hear that. But sometimes taking a look at yourself before you look out at everything else actually gives you power because it shows you where you can choose and somebody else isn't involved, right? When we blame other people, we give our power away. We do. So your body isn't broken. It's not stubborn. It is an incredibly intelligent adaptive system. Your body runs on biological signaling. There are molecules scooting all over your body, telling your hormones what to do, telling your neurotransmitters what to do, turning on the inflammatory pathways or turning them off. That would be anti inflammatory, right? Insulin signaling, right? How is your blood sugar reacting? Immune activity. Is your immune system in high alert all the time and you have a lot of allergies, or maybe you have an autoimmune disorder? Or are you getting sick all the time because you just don't have the resources for your body to turn your immune system on properly? Right. And then there's mitochondrial function, right? The little powerhouses in your cell, the ones that make the energy that drive everything else, right? So food is a biochemical information that influences all those things. That's how your body and your physiology sees food, not just a bunch of calories. So it's constantly interpreting this chemical information. So when you eat, right, it's not just the calories. We're not just extracting calories, it's receiving instructions, right? So some foods support stable blood sugar, some support nutrient sufficiency, some support repair, some support cellular resilience, which is what we're looking for. Other foods may increase oxidative stress, right? That's the inflammatory signaling that our body turns on, creating like rust in our body. Nobody wants that. Glucose volatility, right? Your blood sugar's all over the place. And it becomes an immune burden, right? It becomes a burden for your immune system. So this is, again, this is not about morality. This is just physiology. I'm just telling you how it works, right? Don't shoot the messenger. There's no shame here. There's no food shame here. There's no perfectionism. But the chemistry matters, right? If you poured really contaminated fuel into a high performance vehicle, right? And you did it a lot, you're going to gunk up the systems, right? And eventually, performance of that car is going to change. And frankly, your body works pretty much the same way. Your performance is going to change. You are going to notice things. Those are the downstream symptoms that you don't like. And we're going to talk about those in a minute. So, inflammation is very metabolically expensive. So, what does that mean? That means that inflammation is not just about pain and swelling. You may have that, but it's also an energy issue because here's the thing, if you're inflamed, that's your immune system being turned on at high gear, right? That's going to take a lot of energy resources. So if your energy is going here, it can't go other places, right? So inflammation increases your oxidative load, it increases cellular demand, right? It increases repair requirements. It's breaking things down faster than your body can repair them. And it causes a lot more nervous system stress. These inflammatory cytokines, big word, just meaning inflammatory molecules, right, that roam around your body, can impair your mitochondrial efficiency, right? That's your energy production efficiency. Insulin signaling cellular energy production. So inflammation is very metabolically expensive. And a body fighting inflammation has fewer resources available for energy recovery and resilience, right? We want strong, we want longevity, right? We want this strong longevity. We want vitality. We don't want small and deficient, right? So when your body perceives irritation, threat, instability, overload, those resources are going to get diverted, not to where we want it to go to like make muscle tissue. They're going to get diverted to protection and inflammation and doing all these other things when you really want something else to happen. Right. And so that affects how much energy is going to be available for everything else. So the symptoms, like I said, those symptoms are downstream. These happen in the maladaptation, right? That's fatigue, that's brain fog, that's craving, that's poor recovery. Like you just like wipe out after a workout. It's low resilience. You just don't have the patience you used to have. You just can't seem to keep going the way you did. And then your sleep is disrupted, which doesn't help anything at all, right? And here's the cool thing, we actually see this in research, and chronic inflammatory states are strongly associated with impaired mitochondrial function and fatigue, right? You're tired, but not because what you think, but because your body has adapted to the environment that you've put it in. So, this is why exhaustion is often more complex than just motivation, right? Or changing a couple things or trying to get more sleep. Exhaustion is way more complex than that. It's important to get to the root of it. And so, our food really matters. And your mitochondria, all right, we're going to talk about energy production because your mitochondria, this is the energy episode, listen to the environment and they're super sensitive, right? So that just means that nutrient deficiencies, your mitochondria know, right? Blood sugar instability, your mitochondria know. Poor sleep, your mitochondria know. Inflammation, yep, they know. And chronic stress, right? Affects mitochondria. Poor little guys, they're just in there trying to give you some energy, and we are not helping. So you can't separate energy production from the environment that the cells are trying to operate in, right? This is a huge concept. So when the environment is inflamed, nutrient poor, stress driven, and overloaded, that's where a lot of us live, right? Yep, yep. End of the semester, lots of extra work. Yep, overloaded. My body and yours is going to become a lot less efficient at producing energy. So, energy is not just about motivation, right? It's cellular capacity. So, like I said, those symptoms are downstream adaptations to the environment that your body has been living in, right? They're not something that you treat on their own. You have to treat the environment first, right? Like a factory, right? It can only produce efficiently if it has all the things that that particular factory needs to make the thing on the out that's going out, right? The outcome of it. The machinery has to work. The power supply has to be stable. So your cells are no different at all. And frankly, we live in a really high inflammation environment, really high emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? A lot of inflammation. Our whole environment is inflammatory. So that's why we have to bring just modern life into conversation, because I know that y'all are dealing with ultra processed foods sometimes, chronic stress, kids, parents, whatever your stresses are, right? Loved ones, whatever they are, friends, which then you're also dealing with poor sleep. You're overstimulated, right? Our phones get in the way of so many things. We're dealing with blood sugar swings. We have environmental toxins. That is a whole other episode, probably a whole set of episodes. Most of us, like work sitting down, right? We're at our computers a lot. We don't get to move around a lot. And so we're not moving our body, and our nervous system really gets overloaded. And your body interprets that not just emotionally, not just spiritually, not just mentally, but biologically, physiologically. You cannot continuously send stress signals through food and expect your body to function optimally. That's not weakness. It's just your body adapting, right? And this doesn't mean perfection. I've said that before. There's not about perfection, but it really means that if you understand how your body works, then you want it to run properly, just like your car, right? You don't go put like windshield wiper fluid in your oil tank, right? So why would we put crappy fuel sources and crappy food into our body? It's going to create a similar outcome, right? Your car is not going to run properly with windshield wiper fluid in the oil tank. I promise. I promise. It'll burn out in a minute. So same thing happens to us. And so the supportive things that we need to put in our car, right? We need to put oil in the oil tank and windshield wiper fluid in the windshield wiper fluid thingy, right? We have to support our body with signals that come from high quality protein, good fiber, right? Super colorful plants, all the colors that you can eat, stable meals, not like skipping and, oh, I forgot, or I didn't bring my lunch, or I just ran out and got something. We have to move our bodies 30 minutes a day. And that has been a number that I have said for decades, literally, like 30 minutes a day reduces stroke by 30% by just moving your body 30 minutes a day, reduces heart, cardiovascular issues, and it reduces your cortisol levels. So get outside and move your body. Put a coat on if it's cold, put shorts on if it's hot, right? Like it's not difficult. I know you can do this. I know you can. Walk around your desk, right? We also need really good sleep. And I talked about that a couple of episodes ago. That way we can recover. We need time to recover, not just at night, but during the day. Like 1 or 2 minutes of good, like deep breathing, closing your eyes, thinking about your favorite place on the planet can reduce your stress levels in very short periods of time. And it will make your work environment and your work output even better, right? These are the things that are going to help communicate stability and support to your body. And so it wouldn't be me if I didn't bring in a little piece of faith, right? Because I think sometimes Christians unintentionally reduce stewardship to just some sort of behavior. But stewardship really is coming out of a place of love and gratitude. And we have to slow down to understand that. It's not just behavior management. It has to come from a differently rooted place. It's not just head, it's our heart. And that's what will shift and make things so much easier for you. It's not about white knuckling, right? It's about using our heart to drive this. So it's about wisdom and understanding and learning how your body functions and creating really good conditions internally and externally that are going to support life and vitality and longevity and strength. Okay? Let me tell you, I struggle too. But stewardship includes learning how the body actually works. God designed this body with a remarkable, amazing adaptive intelligence. So our internal environment matters. And I know a lot of y'all have spent years creating internal environments that are stress overloaded, deprived, inflamed, right? And you blame yourself for the symptoms, not realizing that you actually have a little bit of control over it. You can take control of these things. right? This is not about condemnation at all, right? Or shame or guilt. This is just physiology. And here's the thing. Elijah, 1 Kings 19, just a snippet here. When Elijah was exhausted and overwhelmed, God responded first with rest, food, and recovery. And we need to do that too because it matters. It matters a lot. So if your body's feeling resistant, there may be more going on than just a lack of discipline, because I don't really think it's that. I think your body is adapting to the information that it's been receiving through food, right? And whatever else we've talked about on a lot of different things. But here's the cool news, right? Here's the upside. Your body and your biology can respond to new information too. So it's a shift. We're just going to shift the type of information that we're giving it through our food, right? Food is that information, and your body is going to be listening. And that will create a whole different environment and a different outcome. Instead of the symptoms that you will have that energy that you need. You'll get better sleep. You'll be able to do the things that you want to do and dream about, right? It can really shift all of your whole life. And maybe that's a little scary, and that's for another show, but think about the possibilities, right? Just by controlling some of the things in your environment that you can control. And here's the thing, in the Living Fresh Collective, we're really leaning into like not fighting the body, right? But really understanding it, because sustainable health is built by creating environments where the body can function, recover, and flourish. All right, y'all. I love you so much. And this has been a little bit of a shorter episode. I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, hit subscribe, leave some comments on my reels. I'd love to know what you're thinking about. I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up on socials at Dr. Kris Sargent. I am available, and I am just here because I understand how much your body can change, and you can trust your physiology. And that's really important, right? You got to trust your physiology. So I'm going to leave it at that right now, talking about renewing health, rooted in truth, and restored by grace. I love you guys. Bye-bye. See you next week. You've been listening to Spark Faith with me, Dr. Kris Sargent. This show is about renewed health, rooted in truth, and restored by grace. Tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on the Transformation Talk Radio for more simple, faith-fueled steps to live the vision God placed in your heart. Are you ready to take the next step? Schedule a discovery call or connect with me at drkrissargent.com. That's DRKRIS Sargent.com. While you're there, download my free ebook, Endless Energy, the 6 non-negotiable keys to endless energy, and sign up for an upcoming masterclass. Don't forget to subscribe, share the show, and I'd love to connect with you on social media at Dr. Kris Sargent. Let's keep sparking faith and transformation together. Can't wait to see y'all next time.